What do you bloody know? Silly old cunt's not as silly as he looks, eh? If I didn't know better, I'd say that actually bloody well worked. There we go. Like I said, not as fucking silly as I look. Right. Thank you, Mike Brewer, for rescuing my 10 truck. Glorious. Not a problem. Anybody'd think he's sick of it. Okay. Fire brigade hat back at the hut. Safety helmet back at the brush cutter. Right, so that's done then. Oh, progress is progressing. Okay, so Enzo has his bags of concrete with which to add a concrete fringe to the concrete handkerchief to bring it up to size. I don't know quite why they were having trouble getting their heads around the idea that when you got a bog hole, sovereign method of getting traction is to add fibre to the glue. Cellulose fibres in lignin cement, aka the stalks of really tough wood. So I have not yet reviewed the footage, but I do remember watching it. And the first time they were trying to pull him uphill, he spun like a bastard there, and he spun like a bastard there, and he dragged his front wheels, or his front wheels had already gone dragged down into it. And then, well, here we go. What they wanted to do was go backwards and then forwards. And the first time they couldn't move. Couldn't go backwards or forwards. After I cut some tea tree, and as I tried to explain to them, you put it with the root ball facing towards the tyres. So the idea there is that as the tyre's trying to turn that way and slipping into the mud, it hits the root end of the trunk and it drags more and more foliage in, which gets intercepted and then pulled backwards, and it bends the branches out by the tyre going over it. Then you basically build yourself like a waffle tread pattern. And then over the top of your lengthwise, see that was the lengthwise one, it got spat out, you put crosswise. And you basically put anchored lumps in the mud. And I reckon I got some pretty good footage of wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin until it sucked in the tea tree. That enabled him to drag back. Then when they tried to go forwards, wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin until he got onto the tea tree, pulled the tea tree into the bog hole, and that's what drove him forwards and out of it. But confirmation bias, that is what I was expecting to see. And you know, that is kind of why I brought the brush cutter up here and got into doing this real fast, because in my fevered imagination that was going to help. But I only thought that because it's what's helped every other bloody time, and I didn't have somebody to pull me out. You retrofit traction onto the bog hole so you can drive off it, in my experience. Anyway, that's what's been going on here. Suppose I'll just clean this up and sheet mulch that, and then I'll get on to do something else entirely. I think I just found a pause button malfunction at the very dag end of the video. Such is life. Ciao.